We are back, everybody. After a long off season, we are finally back to start the 2021 One-Up Superstar Series with the One-Up Superstar Shootout here at Pensacola International Speedway. Alongside me for tonight's race is Ben McDonnell, a winner in 2020 in the One-Up Retro Cup Series, this series' predecessor. And I ask you this, I know you have two teammates in this race, but this is no time to play favorites because any one of these 16 drivers has a shot at winning the opening race of this 2021 season.
Yeah, everybody's been fast so far. Obviously, this is the inaugural race of the 2021 season, so we're going to see who has the fastest cars and what they prepared over the offseason.
Plenty of off-season moves, plenty of teams being formed, and we drew for a starting lineup yesterday to give you the full starting lineup. Ricky Freeman Jr. drew pole position in his series return after a several month-long suspension. He is back, with Arthur Xavier lined up alongside him in second place. Jack Halleck and Duke Ansack make up row 2. Behind them, Henry Thomas, your teammate in the 8, and Blair in the 19 will be 6th, ahead of Justin Hutchinson and your other teammate, Jake McMillan, in 8th position. J.D. Martin will line up 9th ahead of Jared Polansky. Bobo Jones 11th with Nick Ortiz 12th. Jeff Bolton will line up 13th with Kevin Carter in 14th. And rounding out the field will be Jeffrey Fingay, the series-leading pole winner last season, in 15th, and the defending series champion Stephen Hunter in the final starting position. With that being said, the field is lined up, we're ready to go racing, and we will take you to the green flag shortly. This is the One-Up Superstar Shootout here at Pensacola International Speedway. With Ricky Freeman Jr. and Arthur Xavier on the front row, the pace car makes the hard left turn on the pit road. The 01 and the 99 leading us to the green flag. The green flag is out, and the 2021 One-Up Superstar Series season is underway, and Ricky Freeman Jr. gets out to a pretty big lead, but they're fanning out already as they make the run down towards turn 1 for the first time of this season.
Yeah, everybody wants to show their strengths early on just to show how fast that they are.
Ricky Freeman Jr.'s got a pretty big lead, but I gotta worry if he's got too big a lead because the pack will draw back up to him in a hurry, led by Arthur Xavier with help from Henry Thomas in the 8 right behind him.
Yep, definitely going to see a bunch of these new competitors out in front, see some old ones as well. Obviously, we only see the people from this season and showing how well they are doing after the off-season.
Ricky Freeman Jr. drops back a little bit, but Arthur Xavier takes the point with help from J.D. Martin in another Chevrolet right behind him. As they come off turn 4 for the first time, Arthur Xavier will lead lap number 1 with J.D. Martin right behind him, and they're 3 wide, 3 rows deep from there on back.
This race is definitely going to be momentum-based. Everybody trying to do what they can to get up to the lead so then they can show their new sponsors off for the TV crew.
Like Arthur Xavier in the number 99 Target Chevrolet, it was the 95 in 2020, but he's made a number change and a new sponsor acquisition on his Chevrolet. As J.D. Martin makes a move for the lead going into turn 3, but Kevin Carter's got other ideas. He's going to make it 3 wide for the lead in the BWT Toyota, and Carter will take the lead as we complete lap number 2.
Bold move going into the corner, but he made it work. As you see, the 70 out in front now.
He's got help from Jeffrey Fingay and Jake McMillan as Carter leads lap 2. They barrel off into turn 1, off into the distance. You see the entire pack is forming right behind Kevin Carter in the 71. He's got Jake McMillan right behind him, Jeffrey Fingay to his outside, and Jeff Bolton right behind the 21, pushing him along. Bolton started 13th, and it only took him 2.5 laps to get into the top 5.
Man, you gotta love these new paint schemes. They look very good under the lights here. Definitely going to see a bunch of them and a bunch more coming to the once the season starts.
With Kevin Carter leading this race, he's got Jake McMillan pushing him. Jared Polansky in the 18 making a return after a successful 2020 campaign. He dives to the inside, but Carter holds on to lead his second consecutive lap. A rarity at these superspeedways. It just shows how good of a superspeedway car Kevin Carter has in his Carter Racing System entry. And with Jake McMillan and Jared Polansky duking it out for second behind him, it looks like Carter's going to have a solid day here tonight.
Yeah, this new team bringing in these new colors as well. Definitely showing off their strengths. Definitely did something with that Toyota over the offseason.
They're 3 wide behind him for, looks like, 3rd position. Oh, they're going to go 4 wide with Stephen Hunter making a bold move to the inside of Ricky Freeman Jr. He, Nick Ortiz, and Jake McMillan are all running 4 wide, but McMillan wisely backs out of it. So now it's 2 Toyotas at the front, with Jared Polansky and Stephen Hunter working together, and Polansky leads lap number 4.
Yeah, seeing these 3 Toyotas up at the front, as well as people battling back in the pack, going 4 wide as they still are 4 wide. This track is big enough to do that, but are you sure you really want to risk it that early?
3 Toyotas, 3 abreast, but they start to fan out a little bit as Stephen Hunter, the defending champion of this series, takes the lead with help from Arthur Xavier, but now he comes up to block the 84 of Jack Halleck, who had a successful 2020 and is back for more in the Monster Energy Ford. But here they come, 3 wide, Arthur Xavier to the inside. He's going to try and take the lead away, and he will with help from J.D. Martin. The 2 Chevrolets working together on the inside very well, and Xavier comes off of turn 4, and he will lead lap number 5.
Definitely a lot of movement throughout this field. You won't be able to stay up front for more than 3 laps, as the 70 has been the only one to do so and lead multiple laps during this race consecutively.
So with Xavier out front, Blair and Martin side by side for second, McMillan, Jones, and Hunter 3 wide for third. It looks like they'll settle that out between them as Xavier continues to dominate the early portions of this race. He's been out front for 2 laps so far out of the 6 we've run. And Jones is in 6th place, the only Dodge in the field trying to show the Dodge potential, as Blair in the 19 takes the inside and takes the lead with help from Jake McMillan in the 21.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see that there's only 1 Dodge in this field. Gotta show the manufacturer proud by at least being in this race.
Definitely, with Blair leading this race. The Finish Line Motorsports team has all 4 cars in this race, the only team to have all of their entries in this field. And they're showing their strength right now with Blair leading, Ortiz in 4th, Justin Hutchinson, and Ricky Freeman Jr. still in this main pack as well. So, with 6.5 laps complete, Blair leads with McMillan second, but Jeff Bolton's making a move on the inside for second place. He won a pole at Iowa, which made him eligible for this race last year, and here he comes on the inside trying to help his Ford teammate Blair in the 19, with Nick Ortiz in another Ford leading a Ford 1-2-3 on the inside.
A lot of strength from the Fords right here. As you see another one, Jeffrey Finguy on the bottom there, trying to make the move underneath the 8 of Henry Thomas.
Won't work for now, as Thomas will maintain 5th position, but these Fords have shown their strength early, and there are plenty of them in the field, at least 5 Fords to speak of, so definitely we can expect great things out of the Ford contingent here in Speed Weeks. But right now it's Blair leading, but that could change soon, because here comes Jeff Bolton, and Nick Ortiz going to try and make it 3 wide, but Ortiz isn't going to run out of time to make the move, because here comes Jeff Bolton on the inside in the green John Deere Ford, and he is going to take the lead from Blair in the 19, and coming off a turn 4 for the 8th time, Jeff Bolton, who started 13th in this race. Whether it's a lucky starting spot or an unlucky starting spot is yet to be seen, but he leads lap number 8.
The Fords look to be the dominant factor as the 92 goes on the inside of the 38. What a move by him.
Jeffrey Finguy won the most poles of anybody in 2020. He won 5 of them, and he's making a return in the Motorcraft Ford we are so familiar to him seeing, with a new color scheme this year. But Jeffrey Finguy out front, he started in 15th, and now he's making an outside move for the lead. But here comes Justin Hutchinson in the number 10. He won twice last year in his number 28 Ford, made a shift over to the Blue Cross Blue Shield colors for 2021, and he's taking that number 10 to the front. He's going to lead lap number 9.
Yeah, the 66 of J.D. Martin right behind him, trying to take the lead here. Going to have the help from the Dodge, who is the only one in the field, as we said before. Definitely going to show his strengths for the Dodge camp.
That's Bobo Jones in the 86. But right now they're 4 wide, with Martin edging out Hutchinson for the lead with help from Hunter and Freeman. So right now it's Martin out in front in the Cartoon Network Chevrolet. But right now it's anybody's guess as to who can win this race, because we still got all 16 cars in the lead pack. And here comes Stephen Hunter on the inside, making a move for the lead with help from Ricky Freeman and Blair in the 19. Hunter through to the lead to complete 1/3 distance here at Pensacola.
Yeah, all 16 drivers still running up front. All had a chance to run up front this race. Everybody making moves, as we see the Fords and the Chevys and the Toyotas and the Dodges. Everybody's been up here and fighting for this lead.
Stephen Hunter now on the inside trying to fend off Blair and Xavier now. They're 4 wide once again deep in the field, but right now the focus is on the lead. But we go back to this 4 wide battle. J.D. Martin up high, Justin Hutchinson in the middle, McMillan down low, and Jeffrey Finguy all the way on the double yellow line. They're all so close together. What could set off this powder keg here as we approach the end of lap number 11? Martin wisely backs out, goes to the back of the field to regroup and recover, as Xavier continues to lead this race from Duke Anzac, Henry Thomas, and Stephen Hunter.
This race has been a fun one to watch up here in the booth. You see everybody making aggressive but safe moves early on. Obviously, everybody trying to do what they can to stay up front and hopefully get that much-needed TV time for the new sponsors.
Here comes Duke Anzac in the 83 Toyota to the lead. He's got help from Finguy down low and Jeff Bolton, but Xavier's got his Chevrolet friend Henry Thomas pushing him along. Here comes McMillan, though, on the inside, making it 4 wide, with Jared Polanski making a bold move down on the inside to help his Toyota friends. My bad, because Duke Anzac drove a Chevrolet in 2020. He's in with the Toyota camp. For 2021, it's going to be a drag race to who will lead lap 12. It'll be Xavier at the line. He will lead a second consecutive lap. But right now, it's still anybody's guess as to who could win this race, because here comes Polanski on the inside with help from Halleck and Hutchinson down low.
Yeah, a lot of fierce competition out here. Everybody obviously made it in on speed because of the poles from last season, and showing their strengths is Polanski now making the move on the inside like he did a lap before.
So with Polanski making a move to the inside for the lead, he's going down to the inside. Jack Halleck's helping him in the 84. So with the Monster Energy Ford pushing, Jared Polanski in the 18 Toyota will take a very handy lead, but will he be able to hold on to it for a while? Because Jack Halleck and Nick Ortiz are ready to strike at any moment. And Ricky Freeman Jr., they're making moves all over this track, going 3 wide down in the turn 1.
Yeah, no surprise here. You're seeing aggressive racing. Everybody wants to be up front. Nobody wants to be behind unless there is a wreck and maybe be able to get past it. But we haven't seen any troubles yet today. Definitely going to be a fun race to watch as we see the 66 make this move.
That's for second position. J.D. Martin with help from Bobo Jones and Henry Thomas making a move down into turn 3. Gets underneath Polanski for the lead. Will he be able to take it? It looks like he should be able to, because Bobo Jones is a good pusher in that 86 Dodge. And right now, Martin leads across the stripe. We're approaching half distance here. One more lap around, and we'll see the crossed flags as they go 4 wide for the lead. Henry Thomas making a move with help from Kevin Carter.
What an aggressive move, but it's able to pay off as both of those cars clear the outside line of that 4 wide situation. Thankfully, everybody got out of it without getting any injuries.
But here comes Kevin Carter down to the inside with help from Stephen Hunter. These Toyotas want to make quick work of this Chevrolet of Henry Thomas. They're making their way down to the inside with Finguy pushing, McMillan, Blair, they're all pushing and sending Henry Thomas to the back of the line. As we approach the crossed flags to signify halfway, Kevin Carter out front in this race.
Definitely one interesting race so far as we're only halfway through. We have so much left racing to do and so much, or not enough time to really do it, as we only have half of this race left, half of the time to make up ground, and we'll just have to see who's there at the end.
Kevin Carter's shown he's got the speed to win this thing. He's got plenty of speed, and he's got plenty of maneuverability. He's been up front a lot in this race. But here comes Blair in the 19 in the Meow Mix Ford. She's looking forward to starting 2021 off on the right foot, and here she comes with help from Jeff Bolton and Nick Ortiz. There's 3 Fords behind Carter's Toyota. They're going to try and see. They fan out off of 4, and it looks like Carter will lead this lap as well. But don't count out Jeff Bolton yet, because he's got that inside line. That'll be a big help in pushing Blair to the lead.
Yeah, definitely want that inside line. That is the preferred line around this racetrack, but sometimes you have to defend the high side just in case there's a good run by some of these guys up here that can make it work.
Just like that, Blair moves to the inside to try and take the lead away with help from her teammate Justin Hutchinson in the 10. And will they be able to make the move work? Yes, they will. But Hutchinson gets moved up high by Arthur Xavier. Now Xavier pushes Blair in the 19. This is going to be an interesting battle as we've got Chevy, Ford, Toyota all on the inside trying to make the move work. It looks like Xavier and Carter have had the two best cars here tonight, but really anybody can still win this race. It's all 16 cars still in the lead pack.
Xavier breaking up those two teammates definitely worked out for him as he is now going for the lead with the help of Finn Guy on his rear end.
With the two red cars out front, it'll be interesting to see if they can stay there. But right now, Xavier has been in command of this race from the beginning. He's led a lot of laps here today, and he's only going to lead more as they go. But here comes Freeman making a dangerous move four wide, very close to contact with the 92, and that's allowed J.D. Martin and Bobo Jones to make a move.
Yeah, I wonder if he just simply made a mistake, possibly just overran the corner, because that's definitely going to affect him and going to definitely scared the rest of the competitors on his outside.
Four wide once again for third place. Thomas, McMillan, Jones, and Freeman behind the two leading cars of Martin and Xavier. Martin takes the lead. Freeman drops back very cautiously, trying to avoid contact as Jones settles back into the pack. We're side by side for the lead now with Xavier and Martin on the inside and outside. We're going to go four wide once again with Halleck, Thomas, McMillan, and Stephen Hunter trying to make the move to third.
Yeah, that was very interesting. These guys just can't hold the bottom going into 3 anymore. Maybe there's something with debris or something like that at that part of the track. Who knows?
And as they cross the stripe to start lap 20, J.D. Martin is going to make a move on the inside for the lead. He's got Duke Ansack right behind him. Two Toyotas pushing the two Chevrolets out front. Be interesting to see which one will prevail here as the 83 shoves the 66 out to the lead. We have seen these guys work together well before, and I'm curious to see if they'll continue that. But here comes Jeff Bolton on the inside, breaking up the two on the inside.
Yeah, that's definitely something also to watch out for. Previous connections before this season, as well as new connections this season, with everybody jumping around, finding new teams, finding new manufacturers, sponsors, all that. We're just going to have to see how everybody plays out.
And with that being said, we've taken 10 laps to go in this race. Anything can still happen. All 16 cars are still in contention to win this race as Martin and Xavier still battle it out side by side for the lead, with Blair and Hutchinson in the two finish line motorsports Fords pushing them along. It'll be interesting to see if Jeff Bolton can make a move on the outside in his cell phone Ford, Jeffrey Finguy in his cell phone Ford. But right now it's Blair making a move on the inside. She's finally broken up Martin and Xavier's stranglehold on the race, and with help from Jake McMillan and Bobo Jones, she's going to try and take the lead on lap 21, coming to 10 laps to go.
Definitely showing her strengths as well as we are coming near the end of this race. Definitely going to see the aggression levels rise and see who is actually going to make the moves and make it a very aggressive race for these leaders.
So Blair leads with McMillan second, Bobo Jones in the lone Dodge in this race running third, Jared Polanski in fourth, and looking back to see where the top five are settling at, it's a battle between Carter and Martin that appears to be settled in the favor of Kevin Carter on the outside. But here comes Jake McMillan on the inside with help from Jared Polanski. They're going to try and get around Blair in the 19. With help from Carter and Hutchinson, they're going to try and take the lead, and they will. Jake McMillan out in front of this race with 8 laps to go.
Yeah, the JHM Chevrolet, a part of Venta Motorsports, definitely doing a great job for the team out here as we are coming to the end of this race, definitely showing off his strengths before this race is over.
Only 8 laps remaining. Anything can still happen. And we have Jared Polanski out in the lead now as McMillan washed up high. He's got Justin Hutchinson pushing him in the number 10, with Henry Thomas right behind him in the 8, with Jack Halleck pushing him. It's still anybody's guess as to who can win this race because we've got plenty of action, and all of the starters of this race are still in this lead pack, headed by Jared Polanski in the 18 and Jake McMillan in the 21. It'll be anybody's guess, as I've said many times, who's going to win this race because we still got everybody in contention with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, there's so much to be done, but such little time to do it, as we see the 8 making him move, trying to show his strengths up front, as everybody has been doing so far. you have probably seen everybody take the lead at least once this race.
As with Henry Thomas taking the lead in his number 8 Chevrolet, with Duke Anzac pushing him and Jeff Bolton right behind, there's plenty of action to be had at this 3-mile superspeedway, with Jake McMillan pushing Jared Polanski to the lead on the outside. But here comes Jeff Bolton making it 4 wide once again, with Duke Anzac, Thomas, and McMillan 4 wide. Bolton through to the lead, coming to 6 laps to go.
Yeah, the aggression levels are rising. Everybody making moves and trying to be up at the front and trying to be that one car that gets the checkered flag.
They all want to be that one driver who makes it to the checkered flag first, but we still got 6 laps to go before that can happen. And they're 4 wide for the lead, coming through 1 and 2. Nick Ortiz making a move for the lead with help from his teammate Ricky Freeman Jr. Coming off of turn 2, they're going to be side by side for position, but Ortiz is going to eke him out for the lead here, coming down the back straightaway. We're coming to 5 laps to go this time by, as there's trouble in the back.
Oh.
Our first crash of the 2021 season is here. Kevin Carter, heavy damage. Jack Halleck with damage. Justin Hutchinson, Jake McMillan, they've got damage as well. Jeff Bolton's race is over, and just like that, 5 drivers have seen their hopes of winning the 1-Up Superstar Shootout go down the drain. On lap 25, they're going to come back to the caution flag, and we're going to potentially have a 1-lap shootout here to decide who wins the opening race of the 1-Up Superstar Series season.
Yeah, that was an interesting wreck. We'll go back and see how this happened.
With Nick Ortiz being shown as the leader, with the caution flag being displayed, Bobo Jones in second place as the pace car comes out to pick up Nick Ortiz, and it looks like 9 cars that made it through this wreck unscathed. It looks like Polanski will be done for the day, as will Kevin Carter. Their cars are heavily damaged. Halleck will be done. Justin Hutchinson looks like he'll be able to continue with some repair work. Blair in the 19 has some minor damage. She will be able to likely continue. So it looks like we'll have 11 cars running for the restart, which could come with just 1 lap to go in this race.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see who has to take all their damage repairs, see who can actually make it all the way to the end. Definitely an interesting time for a caution, as we are probably going to have a 1-lap shootout, as you said, which is perfect because it is the shootout. Absolutely.
So if Jake McMillan, Jeff Bolton, Jack Halleck, Jared Polanski, and Kevin Carter's days done, and effectively Justin Hutchinson in the 10 and Blair in the 19, their races are effectively over with the damage they sustained. They can't maintain competitive speed, so their races are likely over. It'll be down to 9 cars to decide this race, as the 5 retirees head into the pit lane with their heavily damaged machines, and they will call it a day after 27 laps. Tough break for all these guys, but good news is they can regroup and get back at it for the 500 coming up soon.
Yeah, it's sad to see that their day is done. I thought everybody was doing a great job. Obviously, one mistake caused that incident, so sorry to see those 5 cars go to the garage early.
But, like we said, we'll get you a replay of what happened to the field shortly. This is the 1-Up Superstar Series from Pensacola. You see they're 3 and 4 wide, with Halleck looks like he'll be the one that starts this off. Getting so close to Hutchinson, they just wash up and there's nowhere for him to go. Blair makes contact with Carter, sending him into the wall. Jake McMillan with some heavy damage as well. It's just a tough break for all these guys involved. There was really nothing anybody could do. It was just close quarters racing that finally went too far.
Yeah, those 2 middle cars definitely were fighting for all they got. Maybe didn't see each other, or there wasn't something there for the spotter to relay, but sad to see all these cars go home early.
But we've still got 9 cars in contention to win this race, and we've got plenty of action still to come in this 1-lap dash to see who will be able to win this race. We've got Nick Ortiz in the lead of this race, with Bobo Jones second, Ricky Freeman Jr. third, Arthur Xavier fourth, J.D. Martin runs out your top 5, and Duke Anzac, Henry Thomas, Jeffrey Finguy, and Stephen Hunter. Those are your 9 cars remaining that have a shot at winning this race. Blair and Hutchinson are still in this race, but it would take a miracle for them, as they've got significant damage to both of their cars. I'm not so sure if they can contend for victory. So we have, as we start lap 28, 9 cars that can still win this race, and any one of them would be a deserving winner, as they've all been out front for a specific portion of this race. But Nick Ortiz is out front right now, and it looks like we'll get the one-to-go signal next time by.
Yeah, everybody, they're just trying to clear up the racetrack, trying to make it safe for everybody to run, so then we can have this last restart. Definitely don't want to enter under caution, so let's go ahead and see how these guys clean up the track, see if we can get this thing rolling, and see some good racing all the way up to the checkered flag.
Now, it's going to be said, we will be ending some races under caution, as it's natural to have late race accidents here. We're not going to have it end under caution here today, because we're going to have a one-lap dash to the finish. But keep in mind, this is a thing that can happen in these races, and it's more common than you think it is. But we've got plenty of good racing left to go, with this final lap of action coming up shortly, and Nick Ortiz will lead them to the restart here once we get the one-to-go signal next time.
Yeah, we're just going to have to see what type of strategy play these drivers have. Definitely everybody relaying from their crew chiefs and spotters which way to go. Definitely going to try to find the best way around the racetrack and the best way up to the front, and hopefully be at the lead at the end here.
Now, even the pace cars out front leading laps in this race. Everybody's been out front at some point in this race in the one-up Superstar Shootout, and we're getting close to the end of this thing. We're coming to 2 laps to go, and it looks like we'll have a one-lap dash to settle the winner as the pace car rounds them off of turn 4, and the lights should go out on the pace car this time by.
Yeah, I feel like it's perfectly fitting to do a one-lap dash shootout style for the shootout, because it's in the name. So it's definitely a good coincidence here. Not a good coincidence for those who were wrecked in that previous caution.
So, with the lights about to go out on the pace car, we'll give you one last recap of the field before we get this race restarted. The lights are out on the pace car. So, we'll have the green and white flags come out together, and then it'll be whatever flag comes out next will end the race from there on out. So we have Nick Ortiz leading the race, Bobo Jones in the 86 in second, Ricky Freeman Jr. in third, Arthur Xavier fourth, J.D. Martin, Duke Ansack, Henry Thomas, Jeffrey Finguy, Stephen Hunter, rounding out your top 9 positions. And as we said before, they are the ones that will likely settle this race between them. My question to you is, where do you want to be on this restart? Do you want to be in Nick Ortiz's shoes in the lead? Or do you want to be somebody like Jones or Freeman or Xavier waiting in the wings, hoping that Ortiz gets a bit of a jump?
Nick Ortiz definitely is in a little bit of a bad spot. Obviously has the clean air in front of him, but he has to make this restart perfect. If he gets too out in front, he's going to lose it. If he's too far back and stacks up the field, that's just going to have more chances of people passing him. So I kind of want to be in this situation, maybe the 3rd or 4th car, somewhere in the top 5, but not the leader. Definitely going to be interesting. Everybody has a chance at this one. So we'll go ahead and see how this thing wraps up.
So with Nick Ortiz out front, trying to go for his first shootout win, his first Superspeedway win. Remember, he got his first career win at the season finale last year, so he's riding a wave of momentum that's carried through the entire offseason already. So he knows how to win, and he knows how to win in dramatic fashion when Stephen Hunter won his championship. So Ortiz is out front right now in his new Mustang, with Bobo Jones in his new Challenger in second position. All of the top 5 actually are driving new manufacturers than what they drove in 2020. Actually, come to think of it, the entire top 7 and 8 of the top 9 are driving new manufacturers from what they drove in 2020. So it'll be interesting to see who can get the man on them. The pace car pulls off. The green and white flags are in the air. Coming into the restart zone, Nick Ortiz leads them to green. We've got 1 lap to go, and Ortiz gets a really big jump. This is what we were worried about, because now everybody behind him can start ganging up.
Yeah, everybody making moves early. Obviously, the 91 too far out in front, in my opinion. We're just going to have to see how it goes through these last 2 corners. Going through 1 and 2, going onto the backstretch. We'll go ahead and see how the field reacts once they get up to him.
Now, will Ricky Freeman Jr. be a good teammate and help Nick Ortiz to the win, or will he go for the win himself? I'm pretty sure he's going to want to make a move for the win on his own, because he's never won a race before in any capacity. Here he comes to the inside.
Down through 3 and 4, the 0-1 takes the early move.
And
Makes it stick.
And Ricky Freeman Jr. comes through 3 and 4 for the final time. He's never won a race before, and he started on pole tonight. Ricky Freeman Jr. off of turn 4. Ricky Freeman Jr. wins this one-up Superstar Shootout at Pensacola. How about that for an exciting finish to the start of the season? J.D. Martin comes across second. Nick Ortiz fell back to third at the end. Jeffrey Finguy will come across in fourth, and Henry Thomas runs out the top 5. Duke Ansack 6th. Bobo Jones 7th, Arthur Xavier 8th, Stephen Hunter 9th, and Blair and Hutchinson round out your remaining finishers of this race. We had 5 retirees from this race, and they were Jack Halleck, Jeff Bolton, Jake McMillan, Jared Polanski, and Kevin Carter, not in that order, all out of the race on lap 25. But Ricky Freeman Jr. is your race winner. I wouldn't have expected this when we started today, but he really did earn it, coming from the back to the front on the final lap.
Yeah, everybody in this race, all 16 drivers, showed their strengths early on, showing them what they can prove before the season starts. Definitely going to see everybody in this field do great next year. Definitely have their own strengths in itself. Obviously, great at super speedways, everybody being able to lead. And congratulations to the 0-1 of Ricky Freeman Jr. for winning this thing. What a surprise victory. Thankfully, he has more racing to come.
So that being said, we've got the Pensacola 500 to look forward to. We've got qualifying for that coming up. The duels as well. It's going to be interesting to see who can come out on top in those. So from Ben McDonald and from myself as well, we say goodbye from Pensacola for now. We'll be back for more racing shortly. And congratulations to Ricky Freeman Jr. He is your winner of the inaugural 1UP Superstar Series Shootout.